All right guys, so now we're ready to tie the Mecate rein onto our Hackamore. This is the same process that you'd go through if you're advancing your horse into the 2-rein setup and you're going to put them in an underbridle or a Bosalito and use a 3/8. What I've got here is a 22-foot hair rein Mecate and my 5/8, or excuse, yeah, my 5/8 Bosal. So 5/8 reins with the 5/8 Bosal. They go matching, whereas like my Bosalito here is a 3/8 with the 3/8 reins. So that's really important that you've kind of got that matched up. Usually if you have a 3/4 inch Hackamore, you might have your 1/2 inch reins, or a 1/2 inch Hackamore, you have your 1/2 inch reins. I just prefer to keep all the diameters the same. So we're going to walk you guys through how to tie this on. There's plenty of ways and different ways to go about tying this on. This is just the way I've found most functional and most easily accessible for me to go ahead and tie on and teach other people. And there's a few quirks to it that I think are really important and make a difference when you're actually working with your horse in the Hackamore. So we'll go ahead and walk you through it. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the coils of my Mecate down to the ground, keep them kind of in a nice circle there. I've got the hanger. This is how it'd hang on your horse. So the hanger is up here. So I'm going to be feeding this through where my horse's chin's going to be. And so as you guys can see that again, here's the hanger where the horse's head is. I'm coming from behind, and then I'm going to take the hair reins here. I'm going to go to the left. A lot of people will go to the right. I like to go to the left, and then I'm going to go one wrap all the way around. So now I've got the one wrap here. And then I'm going to take I'm using my left hand to hold the coils together, and then I'm going to take my right hand and reach through the middle of the Bosal and pull my reins through. And what you might notice is because I've got you'll see here, I'm going to pull them through. Some people measure from about the middle of the chest to the ground, and you'll notice that depending on the length of your horse's neck and what you guys prefer, this will dictate your rein length, and it's very adjustable. So you kind of just figure out what works for you. When you're riding in a Hackamore, sometimes you might like them a little bit longer than you would be in a 2-rein, where you need to be able to get to your reins a little bit more. But I've reached through, pulled my reins through, and you notice that there I was twisting the reins. I'll twist it back so like it was, so you can see there's a twist in the rein. So if I held this up, they'd be backwards. And so now I'm going to twist this rein in this rope to where there's no longer going to be to where they hang nice and flush. And so then I'm going to take the end of my Mecate rein that's back through here. I got my reins on this side. I'm going to take the end of the Mecate rein, go back around over top of my reins. And so I'm going to make another loop around to where I've got a wrap. And this is going to be essentially the lead rope here that you're going to have. If you have a snaffle set with Mecate rein, you're used to that. But you'll take this. I've gone the one wrap around. I'm going to go underneath that rein there. And so I'm just essentially going one wrap around and making a wrap around this right bar of the Hackamore, or the Bosal, excuse me. And so when I pull this through, you'll notice that now you can see how I've just wrapped it around that bar. And so when that happens, now on the back side, you can see I've got my reins coming through, and on the front side, I have my lead rope that comes out. And the reason I like to go to the left first is because when we finish up, it comes around this right bar and it kicks the lead rope out to the left. So now when you're leading your horse notoriously on the left-hand side, your lead rope is come around the right bar and it's kicked your lead to the left-hand side where you're already going to be with your horse. So that's how we tie the Mecate onto our Hackamore. Now, the nice part about these setups is that they're adjustable. So say that you go to put this on your horse and there's too much room between your horse's chin and your reins. This is the great part about the way you tie this, is that you can add another wrap to this without undoing this whole setup. And the way you do that is you take the part that goes from your rein or to your lead rope, and you pull just enough slack back through, and I'm going to twist it to where you can see here that the left hand side of your horse, I'm going to twist that to where it goes in front of the right hand side, and I'm going to lay it over top of the Hackamore. All right, and when I pull this back, then I'm just going to pull the slack back through. All right, so it's still around the right hand side, and now you'll notice that I've got an extra wrap up top. So now that's made it another 5/8 shorter, because now it might fit your horse a little bit better. And then say you go to change horses and you don't need that extra wrap on there, you could simply just take that wrap off, because now you're on a horse that maybe has a little bit of a bigger head, and now you've got right back to your original just one wrap around there. So guys, that's how I'd like to tie the Mecate onto my Hackamore, or onto my Bosal to make the Hackamore setup. And so it's really important that when you're done riding in the Hackamore, that you take your reins off each time. And you guys will go through more how to take care of your Bosals and how to take care of your hair reins. But when you're done riding in this, make sure that you take this setup apart and hang it up accordingly, so that you take care of your gear. This stuff will last you a lifetime if you actually take care of it, and it all has life to it. You know, this is rawhide, this is hair reins, so it's living, breathing materials here, so we got to make sure we take care of it. And if you leave this tied up for a long period of time, you'll notice you'll start to get kinks in the rope. It'll start to break down the hair in the reins, because it's being compromised, because it holds that position. And so you need to make sure you take it out and you let it dry out and stay nice and soft. So, all right guys, that's how you tie the Mecate onto your Hackamore. Hopefully you guys found that helpful.